Hey guys, welcome to another commentary. I have Rise alongside once again, and of course this is Diggity, and I gotta say OSL consistently has excellent openings. They're always better than the MSL for some reason. There's one year where it was kind of close, but I don't know, or one season I should say was kind of close, but yeah, almost always the OSL has fantastic openings. This match, of course, between Frozean, who ended up beating Hurang, he's going against Effort, and Effort's been crazy lately. He's been playing so well. I feel bad for Frozean because he tends to play very poorly against Zerg, and I think Protoss is actually Effort's best matchup. And right now the metagame, I'm sorry, Protoss, Terran is the best matchup. That's brain fart right there. Actually, Protoss is Effort's best matchup right now, but he's really good against Terran as well. I think he's above 60%. I'm going to look that up to confirm it instead of just saying it off the top of my head. Okay, here we go.
71% versus Protoss, 65 against Zerg, and 64% against Terran, all of which are monster percentages for sure, Diggity. And you're right, he has been playing like a monster, and I gotta say, he's always reminded me of Jadong when he first started coming into finding his groove, you know, and really it's like that hungry play that you just don't see in all the other players, and it's a scary thing to deal with. So what are your predictions? Do you think Frozean can possibly in a dream stand up to Effort?
Not on this map. There other maps maybe if he can somehow survive, but this map I feel like is so terrible for Terran versus Zerg, because first of all, Zerg has a very easy to defend third gas, and there's so many flanking potential. It's so easy to flank all over the place. Out in the open field. It just feels like, yeah, Savior style play can dominate with the map positioning. Effort just really good with this style play. Yeah, it's a really bad map for Terran versus Zerg. And Frozean is terrible against Zerg in general anyway. I think he, for a while, was at 30% or something like that. Frozean's best bet is actually just to cheese, I think, to try to take this first match and then try to win it maybe in on either one of the next two maps, El Nino or Hypebreak Ridge, where I think you'll have a better statistical chance. Effort starting in the upper left-hand corner, by the way, as the blue Zerg. Bottom left-hand corner we have Frozean as the yellow Terran.
Man, you called it. We're seeing it looks like we're seeing double barracks in the middle here as two SCVs get out into the middle, and they're actually pretty well positioned towards the base Effort. They're a little towards the upper right, I guess, but not too far out. And the question is, will Effort see this coming? Will that Overlord somehow know that there's something going on there? And he's doing exactly what you need to do as a Zerg player. He's sending out, it looks like he's sending out anyway, an early scouting drone with that 12 hatch, and he is doing exactly that. And will he go cross positions? No, it looks like he's going to go straight down, but either way, he's going to find this out in about 10 seconds that he's going to have to deal with this. And the one thing that Frozean is going for him is that we got a 12 hatch going from Effort, and Effort could be in trouble if he can't defend this easily enough. So what will Effort do? Will he cancel that hatchery? Will he try to leave it up? Will he try to defend it with Sunkens? Will he make Lings? I don't know, but he's going to know something's up as this Zergling goes in. Drone, I don't know why I said Zergling, as his drone goes in right now, and he sees only a few SCVs mining, and oh, what is the look on Effort's face? There is no look. Look at him, he does not care. He will destroy. He cancels that hatchery. He cancels his hatchery, and he is getting prepared to do some damage in return.
Wow, yeah, canceling that hatchery, I feel like he's not exposed at all. Looks like he's going to take another hatchery instead of the 12 o'clock, kind of at an, well, actually I'm not sure what he's doing with an additional drone. Maybe he's going to take it at a far position. But either way, honestly, the distance, you can even see, just look at the map distance from where that, where those barracks are and where those Marines have to funnel through. Should be a Sunken Colony and some Marines, or I'm sorry, some Zerglings to defend this in not too long. And again, I'm kind of curious what Effort's doing with that drone out in the field. Maybe he's just going to go plant another hatchery just kind of out somewhere. He should be able to fight this off without too much trouble. Looks like he's up to some hijinks of his own. But Frozean actually stealing gas. Wow. Stealing the gas on the opposite side so he can't do anything. And it looks like, very intelligently, Frozean's just going to try to bunker him in at the position where the Zerglings can't really get good access. But too late. Effort already, wow, already anticipating this, already has a hatchery building in that upper right-hand corner. If he transitions directly to Mutalisks, Frozean could be in a huge amount of trouble.
Well, the other thing is with the gas being stolen. Well, it looks like it's was just to regenerate that drone. But if he had actually stolen that gas, he gets an SEV kill. Beautiful. If he steals that gas, I mean, really, I don't think that this is that good of an idea for Frozean, to be honest. I think that really, if he wants to do some damage here, he has to move in. It's an all-in build. You cannot just leave it and be happy with a bunker and say that's that, because like you said, we're just going to see Mutas coming out here and he's not going to be able to deal with that. And it looks like he's got about 8 Marines, maybe 9 Marines so far, and if he's just going Marines, how is he really going to deal with this coming from Effort? Effort could push out with a sunken push at this point, and there'd be nothing that Frozean could do about it. Now that he's finally getting gas, I'm wondering what he's going to go in return, because he's got to know what Effort's going, although he probably doesn't realize that there's another base out there.
Yeah, I think the trick is he's thinking, oh, one base versus one base, I can just block him in and get some stuff, and then I'll be in plenty of time versus one base play for the Mulisks. I don't think he realizes that there's another hatchery in that top right-hand corner. And wow, looks like that layer already being manufactured. You already have that creep colony just in case there's an all-in counter from Frozean. But yeah, I think that Effort's actually pretty much got this game locked as long as he produces sufficient enough Mulisks, because I don't even see that Frozean's going to be thinking, oh yeah, I need to get an engineering bay down off the, well, thinking that it's one base play here.
I would imagine that he would get an academy, though, so he could scan at the very least and see what's going on, or send one of those. Well, he did send the scouting SCV, so he should know what's going, and he should know what to expect at this point. Although I don't know how far he went in, and we're not going to see Muta. We're going to see Lurker. Beautiful, beautiful switch of tech right there. That tech that never existed, actually, so it's not really a switch, but faking us out at the very least. I really expected Mutas for sure. And Frozean at this point continuing to pump Marines. Certainly he's got to do that. He still hasn't gotten rid of that drone scout inside of his base, so once again, Effort has all the information he could possibly want, and he's got lings coming from the backside. That's going to allow him to take out those bunkers in the middle. There are medics out on the field at this point, so Frozean, if he gets those medics there, he could be successful if he were to push in before this attack went on. But no, they're going to get caught in the middle by those lings, and that is the damage that he is dealt because he had those barracks so exposed in the middle of the map. And now he's learning that, oh no, Effort's got another base somewhere, and he's got something that he's going to have to deal with it. And really, what's he going to do? He has to leave his post at the front where the bunker is to try to defend this. And at this point, Effort is just rampaging around the map with these Zerglings. And I don't think there's any way for Frozean to possibly defend this.
This is kind of yeah, he could have gone actually either direction for tech. Looks like he's going to go Lurkers instead to try to use the lack of detection, just pounding away at that Academy. Wow. Academy just completely undefended, taken out very rapidly, and an SCV to boot. So he's not going to have the fire bats and the medics to really work with this. Frozean is just going to all in, just straight up, just rush in with what he's got right there. And with those Lurkers in the defensive posture, which should be morphing not too long from now, I think Frozean will be able to hold this stack. Even just his Hydralisks, actually, they'll provide some pretty solid defense. Just needs to make sure he can focus fire those fire bats when they come in. You can see the Zerglings coming across. Frozean trying to get that Sunken Colony down. It looks like he might be able to get that first Sunken Colony down, but no. The Marines just completely drained. The Hydralisk still alive, able to pick everything off, and now they're morphing to Lurkers, and that is a GG in the purest sense of the word right there. He only managed to get one Sunken Colony. You see the Lurkers mining. He's bringing his SCVs off the line. A single Zergling left to rampage the base. More Zerglings funneling through. Second Sunken Colony being placed. As long as those drones can mine to the north, or at least pull off the line or wait for those Lurkers, that's going to be it. Frozean has no detection. This, I gotta say, is almost a pitiful display here. The Zerglings running in. They don't even need to be microed. The Lurkers wandering up, and the Lurkers have to be laughing so hard. So hard right there. GG from Frozean in game one. Good effort, because honestly, I don't even straight up, that map is just so difficult. So I got to give him credit for at least attempting to cheese.
Well, he actually did do a pretty good job, I gotta say, with this strategy, and but Effort just saw right through it, and he scouted early, and that's what it was all about in the end. He scouted, he was prepared, and at that point, as soon as he scouted, there was not much at that point that Frozean could still do. If he had, for some reason, decided to scout out for a second base somewhere, then he would have been in potentially a great position if he could have taken out that base. But other than that, I don't think there was much that Frozean could do against a player like Effort. So GG, and let's go on to set 2.